Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for episode 2 of Atari Twilight 88, where we are trapped back in the 80s with Greg, who's clearly a monster. But yeah, we are back in our season 2 of Atari Twilight. Thank you for being here. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, check out that Patreon down below, or subscribe here, and join us on the Discord. Links for all those things down below. And you will see on the bottom right-hand corner, left-hand corner of the screen, the corruption bar. This bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Greg gets to do what the hell he wants to us. And two, every single dollar that goes into filling that bar goes back to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing faces you see here before you. That being said, I turn things over to Greg to take us back to Garrett, Maryland.
Well, thank you, my friend. And as we dive back into 1988, I would like everyone to do what we do best here on Atari Twilight, and that's play the hits of a bygone era. So at the top of your playlist, Mike, where's that playlist?
Oh, it's right here at !AT playlist.
Fantastic. Everybody, if you'd like to take a second to open up the Spotify playlist for this, the second episode of the second season of Atari Twilight, entitled They Live, you will see at the very top of said playlist a song by a little band named Sonic Youth. If you click on Teenage Riot, you will get the first song in tonight's soundtrack. And so, as we normally get back into Garrett, Maryland, we normally take a leisurely stroll through the air as we look down upon this mountain town in Maryland, and we see the everyday life, the hustle and bustle that can only be described as something that is both cosmopolitan and country. But we don't have enough time to do that tonight because we have a lot to do. And so we dive with the speed of a mechanical falcon or a descending Decepticon. We rocket towards Garrett, Maryland. 1 week has passed nearly since the events of episode 1, where a signal was captured in the heart of Garrett, Maryland, where Shannon saw old acquaintances, but both signal and acquaintances were quickly lost in the hustle and bustle of Garrett, Maryland. The signal gone. Dutch and Barney nowhere to be found. And life resumed. It was the school year. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday came, and here we are on Friday, October 7th, as we dive down into Garrett, Maryland, and through the open doors of the paperback exchange. And as we rocket into the paperback exchange, both Rob and Mitch are present, as are Miss Maggie and her assistant extraordinaire, Gary Myers. And as Gary turns around, he's talking to the two of our friends, Mitch and Rob, and he says, "Yeah, we're playing Stonehenge tonight. It's going to be great. We've got maybe 200 tickets already sold. The place is going to be packed." And as he says this, both Mitch and Rob would know that Stonehenge is an outdoor bar along the outskirts of Garrett, Maryland. It is mocked up to look like the actual Stonehenge, only whereas boulders that could potentially have celestial or astronomical significance, this is a concrete cast of said Stonehenge. But it's a place where local bands play, where people have picnics. And tonight, Gary Myers and his band, Wanda's Figments, will be playing there tonight. And so as he is telling you about this, he's going over his set list, and the paperback exchange is empty, except for the four of you that I've mentioned. And as he says that there's only 200 tickets already sold, he looks again and goes, "It's our last show there before we head west, man." And I wish you guys could be there. I wish you were old enough. It'd be something if you could see me actually play and see the band play. But Jay has this one thing that she does where she stops everybody right before we go live, and she calls it the pin drop. I mean, you'd love it, and but I'm sorry, you guys aren't old enough, but I mean,
like,
maybe if you
but
had
like,
good.
But like we're like old enough, right? Rob.
I mean, this, sorry, this is me speaking. Is this like an outdoor venue?
It's an outdoor venue, and at
Okay.
this moment in time, you only have to be 18 to go to a bar, but you still have to be 21 to have any fun at a bar, if fun is drinking,
Like,
which is fun.
what if we? There's got to be a way to like sneak in, right? I mean, not that we would sneak in.
I mean,
Um,
we could prop up stools or something and watch over the fence.
That's super
maybe
lame.
I can't tell you guys to do something like that. Maggie seems to not care at all whether or not you would try to do any of this. But Gary's acting as if he sort of cares that you might be doing this. And
Rob's gonna. Is there like a? Does a paperback exchange also sell like? I feel like it's a hodgepodge shop that has all kinds of different stuff in it sometimes, right? Or is it just straight up bookstore?
it's a straight up, it's a paperback, hardback exchange with comic books that are also sold there. But then there's almost like a completely separate line of items that Miss Maggie sells, like crystals, holistic medicine, candles, like incense, things of that nature.
Would Miss Maggie have a clothing donation box?
It's funny that you should say that. Yes, she has a box with Goodwill, and the box says Goodwill. And you notice that Gary has actually brought in several of bags of things. I guess he's getting ready, and then the move has extra clothes that he's donating to Goodwill as well.
Yeah, Rob's gonna like start digging through that box of clothes and see if he can find adult clothes and maybe some platform shoes to make them taller. It's something that's going to make them look, a bit older. Probably something that's going to look like it's more from the 70s, I'm sure, than the 80s. Maybe he finds some long bell bottoms and, a merkin to throw up on it underneath the shirt and look like chest hair.
Okay. I tell you what, the easiest way to do this is to let you tell your own story, Frags. For the low, low price of one luck, I will let you find all of those things in the various bags here at the Goodwill Depository in the paperback exchange. Platform shoes, open, large, collared shirts. They look old. They look like you would definitely put a couple years on yourself if you don't.
Yeah, he's gonna find these things and he's gonna look at Mitch and throw Mitch a couple pairs. We're a couple of wild and crazy guys.
I, I don't. I don't want to wear that.
I don't want to wear it either, but we gotta see the show, man.
We've broken into. We've been to way.
I well,
I didn't have to wear it.
no,
Why
but
would I?
if we sneak in and get caught,
Then we get kicked out.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
If we sneak in wearing this ridiculous Scooby Doo costume, we'll also get kicked out.
We'll fit in.
With who?
The crowd.
The crowd of what, hippies?
And with that, as the word hippie
Oh,
echoes out from the beaded back room, there is a swoosh of beads clacking and the lingering fog drifting off of Miss Maggie as she arrives in all of her loving kindness, her sun goddess persona, and of course the ever-present smell of 1969. And as she comes forward, Gary turns and looks, and Gary, prototypical rocker, he's got a band t-shirt on, headband, long hair. But as he sees her approach, he jumps up and without a hint of embarrassment, he goes up to Maggie and says, here, you dropped this yesterday, Double M. And he hugs her, lifting her off the ground. And then he squeezes her and puts her back down. And as he pulls away, he says, I may need to borrow another one of those. And she hugs him back. And Maggie drifts forward and sees that it's Rob and Mitch and smiles and wraps her arm around the waist of Gary in what could only hope would be the relationship of mother and son. And she says, anyway, we'd like to ask the two of you something. When Gary follows his dream, I'll need some help around here. We've discussed it, and we think the two of you would be ideal if you're interested. Would you like to work here at the paperback exchange?
Like, for real?
What?
Gary smiles. Now it takes two of you to replace one of me, so just keep that in mind.
No, no, that's yeah, no, totally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm with Mitch.
All right. Well then, and he kind of puffs up a bit, and Maggie wipes a tear away, as if there's a continuation of some grand cosmic family that she has created here. And Gary turns and looks at the two of you and says, all right, well then, for your first bit of training, go back and make sure the display of the new issues is straightened up. We had some older jokers come in here last night and they left the place a mess. I've been working on it all day, but I got busy.
Oh yeah, no, I can do that. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. And Mitch will start to hurry off towards that section. Does Rob come?
Rob does, obviously, yes.
Like, on the way, he looks and he goes, Did Gary just... Did he just borrow a hug? What the hell was that about? That was super lame.
Well, I mean, yeah, you only borrow them, but you have to give them back. You don't get to just take the hugs.
What?
Let's do our job.
We're gonna talk about that later. He starts stacking.
As you all kind of split off, it's a very large section here of like A-framed open face racks, so you can see the fronts of the comics. And as you all kind of like break off and start working in different areas, you see all of the current issues. You see Excalibur #1 and the most recent issue of the miniseries for Batman the Cult, and Daredevil that's still in the middle of its Frank Miller run, and the Savage Sword of Conan, and Action Comics, as you all just kind of move through the different areas and the alphabetized different categories of the companies. Each of you roll an investigate roll for me, please.
Ooh. I have one success.
Let me get to the page.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. No, you don't want to do this for me. All right, here we are. Investigate. I can do this much faster. Trust me.
Can you?
Boom. And I also got one success.
Oh, I didn't. There it is.
There it is.
Popped up for me.
Yeah, it's telling me, your connection is unstable. That's how my internet talks.
All right. So with one success for each of you, as you look around and begin putting all these things back into place, rearranging and making sure the number of each issues is, stacked and put down so corners aren't bent, and they're left as pristine as possible. Rob, you see that there is a comic that's been dropped on the ground and is actually open. And as you go forward to kind of reach down and pick it up and put it back where it belongs, you realize that it is an older issue of the Transformers. And when you look down, you see that one page is a full splash of Optimus Prime, who is pointing into the sky. And as you read the caption in the bubble, or the words that he is, in print at least, saying, you hear in your mind, "Look to the stars."
Rob's gonna pick it up and look at the front cover and just kind of flip through it and see if it like, is this like the last page or is this the middle?
It's the middle. And when you look at the front page, you see Optimus Prime lying on his back, his chest open, and instead of the reds and the blues that you would normally see, you see grays and blacks. And the title seems to be Will Optimus Prime Die?
Mitch,
Yeah, man, what's up?
I'm gonna flip it around.
I, I mean, like probably.
It was just opened to. Oh,
Yeah, but that's what Gary said. That's why we're over here, because a bunch of kids came in and like knocked stuff down.
but he talked to me. He said that. He said what's on the page.
But how did he talk to you? You don't even have the helmet anymore. It like exploded.
He speaks to me in my head, man. I hear him on occasion still. That's not weird. You're weird.
I didn't even say anything yet.
Mitch, as Rob's talking to you, you
Crap.
see just over Rob's shoulder that on top of the back issue boxes, the long white cardboard boxes, another comic seems to be kind of jammed in. You can tell that it's bent at the spine. It's almost as if somebody folded it up like a sandwich or a taco and shoved it down in between the boxes. But you see the edge sticking up, and one of the staples seems to be kind of already pulling from the spine of it. But you can see another comic shoved in there.
He looks at sad, crazy Rob, and he goes, "Oh, hey man, hold on a second." And he like pats him on the shoulder as he kind of like walks by, and he goes and like just pulls out this tube of a comic.
When you pull it out, it almost like accordions open as if it had been, held against its will in its current predicament, and it pops open to reveal another splash page. And this one shows a comic rendering of a human wearing a hard hat and a tan shirt, and it looks exactly like Mr. Derry. And in this splash, he's screaming almost as if it's into the camera, into the face of the reader, and he's screaming, "They came from below."
Hey, hey Rob. Like, okay, like I was gonna razz you like a minute ago because you know you're weird, but
Uh-huh.
and he he opens the book. That's Mr. D. Like it looks just like him. I mean, it's a comic book, but like it looks just like him.
What do you think it means?
I don't know, but with yours and this one, that can't be coincidence. Plus, like, a week ago, and then like a week before that.
What what's what book is it?
I'm gonna flip it over, Greg. What book is it?
And Mitch, as you hold it up and kind of reveal the page with the rendering of Mr. Derry on it, as you look down and see the cover now facing you, it says Plague of Insecticons.
He flips it around. That can't be good.
And with that, we pull out of the paperback exchange. And as the two new employees of said store view these messages, we go outside and over 2 streets as we see a dirt bike rocket past the Feed and Breed and by the Night Owl Gifts and Consignment store as Shannon Locke with George Butts riding on the back rides into town. My two friends, you are in this current situation because as I was randomly drawing who would be in Teletran 2 for the start of this episode, it was the two of you. And so with the two of you in Teletran 2, you were the only ones to bear witness to it wasn't the same video feed, the same audio loop that you heard before that spoke with Shannon's father's voice, but it was on the same frequency. A beep from the very center of Garrett it started, and Teletran 2 picked it up. And the two of you, George having witnessed it before and kind of connecting the dots in last episode, George, you realized quickly it was the same frequency that the message came from before. And so, with moments after that, I would assume the two of you would give as much pursuit as possible. But right now, I leave it to you as I have put you into the area. What will you do?
Yeah, I mean, definitely Shannon wants to know, especially after the events of last week for her. So we would go into town towards the location where it was, right? Or we were trying to triangulate it originally. Did we narrow it down at least? And then like maybe lose a signal or something?
Exactly. Whenever you were triangulating it at like kind of the events after the end of last episode, you were able to narrow it down into like a 2-block radius.
Okay.
And then it just completely disappeared.
Okay. So maybe I think Shannon would be like, hey, why don't we go back to where we lost the signal and maybe start on different ends and see if we can find something.
Yeah, and I think on the ride over, George would try to use the Michitaki to call the crew.
Roll me a... let's do a calculate here for me, please.
I'm really good at those, yeah. 0.
It doesn't seem to be working. You can feel it turn on. It has batteries. You can see the crackle, or hear the crackle and see the actual like light that pops on in the Michitaki. But when you depress it, there's no engagement. You can't hear a change in, the signal. It just seems to be on the fritz or something.
And that's no problem because George is an expert troubleshooter, and he just bangs it twice against his palm and then tries again.
Roll me a tinker.
Oh shit, I was not expecting. 0.
It still doesn't work. It still seems to be a bit broken. You're not sure exactly why. It doesn't seem to be damaged anyway. You don't see on the outside where maybe it had fallen or been hit by something. It's just not working.
Okay. So Shannon, the Michitaki, it's not working. We're gonna be on our own. I don't know where they are, but
we'll be fine. That's fine.
Yeah. You're here, so we'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. No, this is great. Okay. Do you want to start on the far end and I'll start over here, and we'll meet in the middle, maybe?
Yeah, but maybe we should stay in eye contact, line of sight if we can.
But that would take longer.
Yeah, but if one of us gets body snatched, then the other can.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're scared?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not as tough as you, okay? I just happen to be able to knock a kid's teeth out, that's all. It's a fluke.
The whole thing that happened with, before you were by yourself and you were fine. Look, I mean, you came back fine.
Look, it's not that I'm scared about me, I'm scared about you.
Oh.
All right, I'm worried about you.
I thought you just said I was tougher than you were.
I'm trying to, build you up, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm a feminist, all right?
Yeah, sure. I'll believe that one day, maybe. Anyway.
Just look at my paintings.
I'm not holding your hand, though.
So are you splitting up to cover more space, or are you sticking together?
No, we're sticking together.
Yeah, we're sticking together. I was going to say, even if Shannon tries to, George would reposition to stay in line of sight.
Okay. So let's have a proper 80s montage then that would last about 20-30 minutes. Everybody, if you would, go over to your Spotify playlist and cue up a little Shattered Dreams from Johnny Hates Jazz. And so go ahead and play some Shattered Dreams. And as those tunes begin to progress our story a bit, we see Shannon and George as you all are kind of like driving down each road, peeking into cross streets and alleyways and driveways and, looking for anything that's suspicious. And as you do so, roll me an investigate.
Let's see if this works out at all.
There we go. We need
3
that.
successes.
Shannon, nice. Okay, so Meta, if you will, and I'll try to throw this up in chat or over on Roll20 to help you out a little bit. Let me see.
Ooh, okay.
So with this, you're able to have your success, but you also have 2 additional successes. And
Okay.
so with those, you have questions that you can answer. What is hidden and what is hidden here and where is it? What does it mean? All those different ones. If there are 2 of those that you would like to have, you can. But because you have 3, if you'd like to bank one for later and roll with an extra die, I will also allow that.
Yeah, I would actually. I can bank one. That'd be good. I think.
Okay,
that'd
so
be
yep.
nice.
Keep one banked for yourself then.
So then, in just one question, then.
Yep. And George, as you're looking around, you don't see anything out of the way, out of the ordinary. You see that there are people cleaning up from the Harvest Festival. You see that it's just the normal Friday evening type of traffic here in Garrett, which is, of course, very little, but nothing pops out at you.
I'm gonna go with the first question. What's hidden here and what is it?
Sure. So it's almost the last place that you look.
Okay.
And either if you're riding on your bike, you're very slow as you're kind of creeping down the last area. And there's one kind of blind alley that doesn't have any type of building access on either side. And about halfway down the alley, you see a grav trailer just floating there.
Oh.
And on the side, it says Alta, A-L-T-A.
Okay. Shannon kind of just now slowly comes to a stop because she doesn't really have a threat assessment at the moment, and she kind of like elbows something down here. Remember Alta?
Yeah.
That truck. She points it out.
I don't know. You have such sharp eyes. I didn't see that.
She rolls her eyes, just gets off the bike, maybe kind of like kicking him in the process.
Ow, jeez. So violent.
Sorry.
All right, let's go.
Ladies first.
Okay. You just walk forward.
All right. Shannon's kind of watching the side streets before she makes her way all the way into the alleyway just to see if anybody notices them walking.
With your 2 successes that you used for this particular thing, I'll let you know that you don't see anybody that looks to be giving you a second glance as the 2 of you disappear down the alleyway. No one seems to be monitoring your progress or noting your passage, nothing like that. Even the people that are driving by on the street, you don't see anyone that seems to look your way.
All right. And as we're walking down, are there the fire escapes on any of the buildings or anything like that, or like upward or anything? Yeah.
You can tell that if you're and again with your investigate roll, I'll let you know that this was at one point the end of Garrett's Main Street, and then additional buildings were kind of added. And so with this being the end of the Main Street, there wasn't any access points on one of the buildings. And when they started up on the next kind of block that they made sure that they didn't add any access points on that building as well. So it could be a traffic drive through. But right now, nothing could get through because of the trailer that's kind of floating there.
Huh. So is there a safe way to get up towards the roof?
Yeah, if you wanted to climb one of the fire escapes, it's not one of the ones you pull down. It's an old one that actually has a ground-based stair system, so you can walk right up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up top, and see. Maybe there's something up there. Elevation, good for radio signals, right?
Okay. I guess I can check down the rest of the alley.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay,
Good luck to
Shannon,
you.
Shannon, you start climbing up. It'll take you just a few seconds to get up to the top of the 3-story building on the left. George, when you walk down, you can kind of get right next to the grav trailer if you want to. And the closer that you get, you realize that it is what they called anchored. It's floating there, but it has struts that are down touching the ground to keep it from basically being moved or taken away by another tractor. As you get close, you can see that it does have the big kind of cabinet doors on the back that would open and a personnel door on the side, none of which appear locked.
So George approaches it stealthily, quote unquote. He at least tries to be a little bit sneaky. And he's like, this totally isn't a trap. And he goes to open it.
Sure, roll me a sneak.
Zero. This is not my system tonight.
So yeah, you figure that you're as sneaky as you can be, and as you creep forward, what door are you opening up? The side door, like the kind of like the one person door, or the big kind of doors on the back?
I was envisioning the big doors at the back.
Okay. Well, as you kind of unlatch and pull these doors open on the back, let's cut up to the top of the roof. Shannon, you get to your vantage point that you were searching for, and you're able to look down over the top of the fire escape. And as you kind of peek and look down over everybody, because this is from Shannon's perspective, let's go ahead and play a little Joan Jett, I Hate Myself for Loving You, as she looks down on George, who's getting ready to open up the back of this trailer. Shannon, when you look down, you don't see anything on the building, nothing that seems to indicate like an antenna or a tower or any type of communication device. But you do see that on top of the trailer, there is an almost dome with a little, maybe 4 or 5 inch antenna that's been pulled out of the top of it. Normally, you wouldn't notice that at all, but there seems to be an LED red light beneath the surface of the dome that's flashing. And its pulse seems to match the same rhythm as what you picked up in Teletran 2.
Okay. She's gonna kind of shout down to Butts and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Just nothing. What are you doing?
There's
And-
an antenna.
Meta, just as Shannon yells down, "What are you doing?" Butts opens the back door. And Shannon, you bear witness to George being completely engulfed in what looks like an avalanche of bugs.
Oh God, no.
I need a move roll from George, please.
I need to know how loud and feminine that scream is.
We'll see. It's a move roll, right?
Yeah, please.
Oh no.
This is a multi-success roll because you walked into the bay doors.
One success.
So you see him coming. This isn't something that takes you completely by surprise, but it's almost like that can't be a wall of bugs. And as you think that, and that takes that second to process the insane, you are hit by centipedes and millipedes and beetles and stinging insects as they wave over top of you, over the collar of your jacket and shirt, into your hair, into your mouth, as you are able to like turn to yell back up to Shannon. You stumble back, and that saves you from going completely under. But they hit almost all the way up to the base of your nose. You can smell that coppery powder of some of the more scarab-like insects. We'll get back to what George does in a second, but Shannon, you see this explode out, and you hear the as this cloud of insects pop out of the back.
First and foremost, Shannon's really glad she went to the roof. And I think she's just initially in shock because that is possibly the weirdest thing she's seen since last week. And like from her perspective, are they attacking him? Or are they just falling out of this trailer?
Roll me and investigate as you are in the split second trying to ascertain what's going on.
No.
It looks like an attack.
Oh God. How the heck do I fight bugs? Okay.
That's an
Oh,
excellent question. So roll me a move as that cloud comes up your way.
A little bit of
Oh.
fipronil.
Cool. This is fun. 2 successes.
Fantastic. So with 2, I will allow you to do 2 distinct actions. You can dodge, you can move back, like kind of deeper into the building, losing sight of George, or I will allow you to spend them both and begin your descent. You might get stung or hit by a bug here or there, but with 2 successes, you can actually negotiate back down to the alleyway if you wish.
You said it's 3 stories up, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will let you, if you want to be totally baller, there's about 4 feet of bugs down there if you wanted to jump and land on them.
Yep. She takes
Then
a big jump.
artists out there, I need a picture of Shannon Locke jumping off a 3-story building in the bugs because that is baller as hell. Okay, George, we're cutting back to you.
Jump!
Cannonball.
George, as you are being pushed back in all of this, you feel yourself moving back in almost like a crab crawl position. You can feel these bugs licking all over your body. It's almost as if you're in a pool doing a dead man's float, and just your face is up at this point. And you feel things running across beneath your nose and around your eyes as you're paddling backwards. What are you doing, my friend?
Panicking, and I'm just trying to like scoop them away and try to get away as much as I can.
Roll me another move roll as you begin to crab crawl back, and just as you do so, there you go.
3 successes.
All right, so I want you to take over this section here for me, Rhino, as you are going to be able to pull yourself out of this mass of living insects, and in as big a superhero fashion as you'd like with 3 successes. Tell me how you get out, but at the same time, I would like you to describe how George sees the descent and arrival of Shannon Locke as she flies off the top down to presumably your assistance.
Yeah, so I think at first George is panicked to try to push him off him and get out of there. But what scares him even more is Shannon jumping off, likely landing in a superhero pose right on top of him. And so just, and he like back rolls up. Because one of the things I could do with multiple successes is try to impress somebody.
Right.
With a move. So I want to make it look like I just do like a back spring off the ground and on my own feet. And that way when she lands, I'm also like face to face with her after she superhero lands.
Was it all that hot yoga your mom made you do?
Yeah, man. It works.
So when snatching defeat or victory from the jaws of defeat, George is able to roll back and kind of spring forward. And we're going to say that because of the roles that both of you had and the effort to get to one another and Shannon's daring descent to save George and George saving himself, the two of you arrive, just like you described, George, nose to nose. But at the same time, each of you are able to dust off bugs from the other. As you land, you're each kind of, as you clear yourselves off. Shannon, when you hit, you could feel hundreds of bodies popping beneath your feet as they slowed your descent. And this gore and ichor swallowed by the swarm that is now maybe hip deep here in the alleyway. You don't suffer any harm. You landed perfectly fine as if you had jumped off into water. Just slightly more jellied water.
Yep.
You two are alive and well in a cesspool of bugs. What would you like to do?
Are they still alive?
Yeah. This is Indiana
like,
Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Grabbing and like trying to use our body weight to get out of the rest of them, I think. Since
Yeah,
he's that close to me, just like moving that way, I think, out of the way of him.
Okay, I'd like move rolls and investigate rolls, one for each, please. And Shannon, you do have an extra die if you need it.
Okay. 3 successes on my move.
I went 0 and
And-
0.
And I'm gonna use my bonus die for the investigate.
Sure thing.
2 successes.
Awesome. Okay, so Shannon, with 3 successes, I'm going to allow you to bank another one if you'd like. And you succeed in getting yourself through the bugs. And with your other success, I'll let you get George out too.
Definitely. Yep.
Okay. So you're able to kind of grab him and sort of, fireman's carry him a bit out of the bugs. And as you're leaving and kind of moving away from the trailer to get out of this whatever the hell this is,
Yeah.
you see that the inside of the trailer is completely empty. Not one bug remains inside this trailer. But as you look in, you see that there are boxes inside, perfectly wrapped and taped boxes.
Like brown paper boxes or okay.
Like cardboard, like just
Mhm.
sealed, packed boxes, cardboard boxes.
But there's bugs in the way to get to it.
With your moves, I'll allow you to get into the trailer if you'd like, and there are no bugs in there.
Actually, that would be beneficial. Yes. Let's do that.
Okay, so you are able to pull yourselves up into the trailer. What would you like to do when you get there?
Oh, okay. That's gross. Bugs? Really? So weird.
I mean,
You okay?
yeah, I'm great. How are you?
That was super fun, actually.
It was fun to watch. I just, had to one up you a little bit, but here we are.
Right. Okay, so there is an antenna on top of this truck. I saw before I jumped back down, and it looks like it might be what was transmitting.
Okay.
There's also-
Well, you want me to boost you up?
Let's look at the boxes first.
I thought you just said it was empty.
Well, he said there was boxes packaged inside.
Oh.
Empty of bugs, free of bugs.
Oh,
free of
okay.
the bugs.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, ladies first.
Right.
You just want to grab the first one you see?
Yeah.
It's like it just has regular, like a strip of packing tape across it.
Okay.
And as you pull it up and open it up, you see that there are folded clothes inside.
What do the clothes look like? I mean, like
You
boring
pull out
clothes
like a men's dress shirt.
Uh-huh.
You pull out like a child's sundress. They're all folded and put in there. But with your earlier successes, I will also let you know that, like, kind of when you move one of the boxes, you see that one of the deeper boxes on the side of it, it says Goodwill Industries.
Hey, open up these other boxes. Help me. And she just keeps opening the rest of them.
I don't
She
know.
won't, like,
Last time I
take
opened a
all of it, huh?
box, a bunch of bugs came out, so I don't know.
This is a box. This is a trailer. Are you scared? You're fine. Look, you're perfectly healthy. You could handle a box.
I feel like you're projecting your fear and making it seem like it's my fear.
Don't try to psychoanalyze me.
I'm not trying. It's just happening. And he starts opening a box.
Sure. As you look through everything, again, just boxes of clothing. As you get down to the last 2 boxes, Shannon, you open one and it's again clothing, but on top of this box, kind of stuck with a bit of the packing tape, you see a flyer for the Stonehenge bar, indicating that tonight there is looks like a band is going to be playing by the name of Wanda's Figments.
Okay. She grabs the flyer and folds it and puts it in her vest pocket.
George, when you get to your last box and open it up, it is not filled with clothes. It is filled with different colors and sizes of marbles.
I don't even like marbles. He kicks the box.
Whoa, what?
It makes a shh sound.
Hello?
Marbles. That's all he says. Marbles.
Super. Great. Okay. Go ahead and boost me up. I'm gonna go take a look at this antenna thing.
Sure. And he cups his hands and for her foothold, and
Shannon climbs up top of the trailer.
You see the dome as you saw it before, only this time when you get up there, Shannon, the little 4 or 5 inch kind of telescoping antenna seems to be down inside the dome, and the light's no longer flashing.
Interesting. Is there any evident access point, like to either take the dome off or see if there's something else in there electronically?
Yeah, you can absolutely see that it looks like the dome probably is more of like an environmental shield. Just something to keep whatever the components are underneath dry or out of the weather.
Gotcha.
You see that there are several kind of Phillips head screws, just standard fastening devices. I don't know if you have a screwdriver or.
Nope. But she's got her foot.
Sure. You want to roll? You want to roll force for me?
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, you give it a couple really good cracks, and you can tell now that the dome is probably like a really heavy industrial grade plastic.
Yeah.
You can see it kind of whiten up around one of the screws, but it's going to take a hell of a lot to break it.
Butts, do you have a screwdriver?
No. Do you need
Mitch
a
would
hand?
have one. Yeah.
Well, Mitch is never mind, but all right, give me a hand. And he like
just grabs on.
Butts, I will allow you to roll force roll if you'd like to see if you can.
One success.
And with the work that had already been applied, much like a pickle jar that was stubborn, with a kick, the top cracks a bit, leaving behind 2 of the housings for the screws. And the third one is kind of pried off as you see what looks to be a lone symbol in the middle of the dome with an LED attached to it. And when you flip the dome up to look in, you each bear witness to the angular points and edges of a Decepticon symbol.
Well, crap. Oh,
Fuck. Rob's right.
Yep. Okay.
Boom.
And
Bugs.
as you two look at that, and as the bugs are beginning to disperse either through the sewer grates or to points unknown, our camera pulls back and we zoom through Garrett, this time at a speed that keeps us level to the ground as we zip and weave through the streets and alleyways, and we arrive at a building called the Times News. It is the local Garrett newspaper. The evening edition has just been distributed and sent out to all of the motorized carriers and paper people. And as this is a Friday, it is also the time where the paper boys and paper girls can go in and get paid for the month. And as we get to the front of the Times News, everybody, if you would like to queue up Just Like Paradise by one David Lee Roth, the doors open and Ben McKenzie and Jerry Baker walk out. And Ben is carrying a wad of money and Jerry is carrying a wad of money. And Ben looks up at his much larger friend and says, "This is our best month yet. $63 a piece. I don't think I've ever had this much money at once. What are you going to do with yours, Jerry?"
2 words. Ice cream.
It could be like Ben and Jerry getting ice cream.
Yeah. Like, I want to eat ice cream till it comes out my eyes.
That's a great idea. We should go into business.
Well, I would, but I don't want to leave a paper trail. We talked about this before.
We did, yeah. All right.
We'd have
Roll
to move
me.
to Vermont.
Right. Roll me an investigate, Jerry.
Well, apparently I've got some of those.
Yeah. Okay. So with 2, I will let you bank one of those, much like I let Shannon bank a die. But you realize that just with a glance, Ben didn't give you 50-50 with the money. He gave you more. And he's like kind of quickly putting his away.
Hey, something doesn't add up.
What's that?
Well, you remember when I borrowed that money off you to get the comics last week?
No?
Well, yeah, it was the new one with the Fall of the Mutants, the X-Men. I owe you, I think I owe you $7.
No, I think we're good. We're square.
Are you gonna fight me on this?
No, I don't want to fight you, Jerry.
I can sit on you and like make you take it.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
Well, you can catch me later, he says with the confidence of a ninth grader that has none.
I think Jerry will give him that stare down for a minute and then playfully punch him in the arm. But he's Jerry, so less playful, but all right. I'm buying ice cream.
He opens his mouth to kind of dispute that, but then just lets it go, thinking that he might be on the losing end of this one too. And so you all start to like descend into Garrett proper. The closest place to get some ice cream at the Queen City Creamery is just like 2 or 3 shops down from the Times News. I'd like you to roll me another investigate, and I'll let you know you do have that extra die if you need it.
Might as well use it. It didn't help.
So Ben is sitting there talking to you, and he's, I don't know if I want to get Cherry or Rocky Road. I don't know. They had that orange stuff that tasted like a dreamsicle, and he turns around and you're gone. Jerry, in the alley that you just passed, Jerry, you felt yourself with an almost supernatural force be pulled and redirected into the alleyway. You are spun and you feel your back kind of not slammed again. You're a big person, but you are definitely guided with force into the back or wall of one of these alleys as the kind of the light crisscrosses across your body. And in front of you, you see Veronica Kirkshaw.
What the hell?
You can see that her eyes have dark circles beneath them. You haven't been close to Veronica, like physically close to Veronica, in probably almost a year. It's been since January, so it's 10 months have passed. And you can see that she is almost angular. You can tell that she's lost weight, that her cheekbones are prominent, her jawline is prominent and edged. And again, the aforementioned bags are beneath her eyes. As she gets close and she comes up and is almost nose to nose with you as she's looking up into you. It's starting again. God damn it, Jerry. And she puts her head against your chest and you hear her whisper, please tell me it isn't starting again.
What do you remember?
She doesn't look up, but it's almost like she's whispering into you in a way to like muffle it. She's not whispering into your ear or into your confidence as much as she's almost kind of collapsed, her head and forehead resting against your chest. She's whispering into you, into Jerry Baker. That night at the mall, I was ripped out of my car. Something dragged me down to the scrapyard. the fuck they were. Just these shadows put something around my head, and another one. This is fucking crazy. One of them ate my purse. Just ate it like it was fucking pizza or something. They stopped though. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but I heard one of them whisper interference, I think, and then they both started to move off. I heard one of them say in my voice something was fighting the others. Something in the trees. At this point, Ben comes around the corner. You see him like peek as he looks at you, Jerry, and then looks at her and looks at you as if, what should I do?
Jerry is gonna give Ben like just a look that says, wait, and grab Shannon by the shoulders. Not Shannon, grab Veronica by the shoulders, and kind of pull her away from him and look down at her. I think it's starting again. We think it's starting again, and you should get out of town.
You see tears kind of welling and coming out of her eyes, but it's not as if she is. This is not like a tears of weakness. It's almost like a physical response to the story that she is telling you. It's as if, tears have already been shed when this story has been said. And just like a once upon a time or a happily ever after, the tears are a part of this tale. And she looks up and says, they would know if I left. Whatever was going on in the scrapyard was interrupted when those idiots showed up. Dutch and Nee and Chris. And I was too out of it to tell them what was going on. And you know what happened next. But since that time, I can see when they replace somebody. When they put somebody new in town. George's dad, and I saw someone driving a hearse for the hospital. They don't look right. They look like they're covered in metal or tinfoil, and their eyes don't blink. Problem is, once they get switched, I don't know who they were supposed to be, who they're pretending to be. It doesn't look like them. It doesn't dress like them. It's just a different person. I could answer the phone and one of them could be on the other end. I saw one last week driving an old red tractor trailer truck.
We saw that truck.
Did you see who was driving?
No.
All right. I need your help.
It sounds like we need your help.
First things first. I need to know. I need to know what I'm dealing with. I need to see as many of them as I can, and I need you to tell me who they really are, who they're pretending to be. I need to make a list. I can't drive around in my car all the time.
Okay. Do you remember when you dropped us all off at the Mag truck graveyard?
Yeah.
We need you. Meet us out there tonight. I'll get everybody else. And everybody else knows. And look, I'm not the plan guy. Just meet us out there. Mitch will tell you.
You can see in her eyes that she doesn't buy that you're not the plan guy because you're the person she approached. Whether she's right or not, you can't say, but Veronica seems convinced that she approached the right person. She nods, though. I think I got an idea. I'll meet you out there, 8 o'clock tonight.
8 o'clock, Ben. 8 o'clock.
Ben peeks his head back around the corner. I heard. And he goes back around.
Look, stay safe. We don't know who we can trust, but it sounds like you know better than we do. So just be careful.
Roll and investigate.
Hey, I got 2 more successes.
Okay, so with 2 successes, you get additional information here. One, you realize that this alley is occupied, but it's just by Main Street Jimmy, who is the local air quote homeless person. He actually lives at the shelter, but everybody calls him homeless because he's constantly intoxicated on the streets of Garrett. There is a bottle of Boone's Farm at his side, which, of course, we all know in Western Maryland is you have to have that to be where he is. But as you're looking, you see what looks to be a street cleaning unit, like a robot, and it goes by, and on the side of it, it says Alta, A-L-T-A. And with your second success, I will let you know that as it passes by Ben and sort of goes by the front of the alley, you would almost miss it if you hadn't noticed its progression and appearance. It pauses for just a second and then resumes its speed.
Watch out for robots.
She nods. I'm just going to drive around until 8. And you see her leave, and across the street, parked in the opposite direction, is that white Volkswagen Rabbit.
She looks rough. How's her car look?
Her car looks like it has been probably had about 50,000 miles put in it in the last 10 months, which is impressive for a small town of Garrett.
I think Jerry will watch her go, kind of, conflicted, and then sidle up next to Ben. We gotta get everybody together.
Ben looks up at you. Do you think they're back?
It's definitely happening.
Okay. And with that, let us cut to the Teletran 2. Everybody is together as we draw everyone in from the various origin points. So the 5 of you have been brought up to speed. You can share as much information that happened in your openings as you would like. If there was something that you did not tell the others, let us know either in chat or you can tell us right now. But if not, then everyone assumes that you have brought everybody up to speed on what has happened to you throughout the course of this afternoon and early evening in Garrett. And we'll say it's right around 7:30 Friday evening, October 7th.
Just as a side, Shannon never told anybody about Dutch or me. So
Yeah.
Did you ask
still-
Mitch not to tell anyone? Because Mitch is
didn't see.
big... Oh, that's
Mitch
right.
didn't
I was
see them.
there. I just didn't see it. That's right.
No.
You're right.
She slammed on the brakes of her bike, and then she was like, "Oh, I saw somebody," and then you guys all moved on. So I'm just pointing that out so we don't forget that she has yet to disclose that information.
I think... I think Mitch is full-on conspiracy Mitch, and he is in the truck, like in the main compartment, the OG compartment, and he has like a dry erase marker, and he's just like, and he's just on the side of the wall, and he's like writing down all the things that everyone's talking about, and like circles one, he's drawing lines to different things. Like it says Alta in 80s bubble letters, right? The block letters.
Pepe.
It just underlined a bunch of times.
Shannon's just watching, drinking a Coke. Just... Okay.
So wait, okay, so Mr. Derry was in a comic book, and then there was bugs, and then there's bugs in the thing, and the comic had bugs, and then you saw bugs, so it's like bugs, question mark,
And
question
don't
mark.
forget the Decepticon symbol at the top.
On the
for
top.
That transmission.
Right.
Now twice from the same area.
Right. And then you said the truck said Alta, and then your truck, and he like points to Rob, your truck said Alta, and then you said the cleaner thing, I said Alta, and then Alta again in circles down, Optimus Prime, question mark, bad guy, question
You have
mark.
a problem,
Huh?
Mitch.
Yeah, they're back. That's the problem, obviously.
Yes, but also our fathers. Did you forget
are
the
you, Heather?
broadcast? I mean, I spent all week thinking about it, and
And what?
I haven't gotten into my dad's office yet.
Listen, I haven't seen my dad in like over a year, and the last time I saw him, he was a robot. And then the last time I saw him, Butts' dad tore his robot body in half. So I
Okay.
literally have nothing except for a pile of records, this sweet shirt, and a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons books. So I got nothing.
Wait,
Okay,
and
but
I
my
think-
dad's been normal the whole time that I've seen him when he comes home between everything and over the summer.
Yeah, but Butts' dad was super normal until he was a robot.
So
Well, I mean-
I think that means that her dad's not a robot.
I mean, we couldn't tell
There you
your
go.
dad wasn't a robot until he was a robot.
What if you just ask?
If he's a robot?
Just ask my dad. You're
Yeah,
my dad. That's not
Yeah,
gonna
just
happen.
real casual. Hey, Dad, you a robot?
Yeah, sure, that'll go over well. He'll think I'm on drugs, and then I'll get, in trouble or something. Probably.
You do that to gauge his reaction more so than get a straight answer.
Well, then why don't we break into your house?
Yeah, why don't you?
She doesn't need to break into her own house.
Well,
Yeah, but we do.
yeah, but my dad's office is locked all the time. Okay, never mind. Moving on. What about this other stuff happening tonight? The concert was the flyer was in the boxes, and what was the other thing you said?
I mean, the flyer was just that's the Stonehenge, right? That's just
Right.
Gary's band. It's just Gary. Like we wanted to go,
Yeah,
but
but
like
why
this
was
sounds,
it in the boxes inside of a Decepticon's truck?
I don't know.
They-
Why were
they-
there bugs?
Put them everywhere, to be honest.
Well, do you think something's gonna happen there?
I don't know. It's a bunch of adults in a rock band.
What if they take all of them and make them robots?
Yep.
I think Mitch makes that face too. As soon as you're like on board, he's like,
Shit, it was like, I don't know why I just said that.
and then he reaches over, underlines robots. Like he's
Okay,
so taken
okay.
aback.
But Veronica said that something happened at the scrapyard and something was happening there. And when your dad showed up,
Wait, the scrapyard?
ruined
I thought you said the movies.
yeah, when we were at the junkyard where we found them.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you
And
meant
when your
here.
dad showed up, he ruined it. So,
Yeah, because he's a hero.
okay, but
Is he a hero though?
what was going on there? We have to
I
go
mean-
back there.
I mean, he saved Veronica clearly, and then he saved me, and then he fought Butts' dad.
That didn't work out.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but-
Butts' dad also. Sorry, Butts, but Butts' dad also was dead too.
I
We
saw
don't know
Dutch
that my
and
dad's
Lee.
dead.
So,
Last week.
I mean, you're not wrong.
you don't know that. You don't know that.
Veronica said they're replacing people.
Well, yeah. Remember we saw the house, the one, the Butts' house. They were
No,
replacing.
but those were new people. She said they're replacing them.
Yeah, we knew that. Remember, Rob said it when he saw Mr.
So
Derry.
maybe the robot isn't your dad, and maybe Megatron wasn't George's dad.
Oh, but the robot called me son.
Where are the real people then?
Exactly.
Pod people?
No,
Pod people.
No. What? No. Would they even keep them alive?
From invasion of the body centers. Well, when
they'd have been
I
missing
mean-
for well over a year now.
Yeah,
They'd
wait a
have to
minute.
keep them alive to harvest their memories and sustenance.
And also, when it's time to pop smoke, they can't just have people die all of a sudden. They need to just, oh, here's a person with no memories.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. Have we? I know this is, and he like looks at Shannon. Have we heard anything about like Dutch Nee and Chris? Because we saw them. Butts, you said you saw them last year being taken to the Ivory Tower, right? And then when I got to the Ivory Tower, you were in a tube, and then Sam was in a tube, and I think Veronica was in a
I
tube.
saw them when we were looking for the signal the first time.
Like
I think I saw them.
a week
Some
ago.
people in tubes.
No, Dutch and me.
Like a week ago.
What?
Yes.
Normal Dutch?
Were they robots?
I don't know. They were different, sort of. I don't know.
I don't remember seeing them in tubes.
No.
But we saw them get taken. No, I'm saying a year ago. But we saw them get taken into the loop.
Oh, man.
And Sam came out, and Veronica came out, and Butts. We're pretty sure you're not a robot.
Only
He's not a
pretty
robot.
sure.
Yeah.
Rob's gonna look for something sharp and hand it to Butts. You know what to do.
He's not a robot. I can promise you that.
I don't know what that means.
What,
Cut
me
yourself.
or him?
You cut yourself, and he pushes it into your chest, like not pointy at, obviously a candle first.
Rob's gonna take it and look at his hand.
Why are we?
Yeah.
Stop!
He's gonna poke his finger.
Why are you doing that?
Red. Do you bleed?
I'm pretty sure the robots bleed too.
You can have a ketchup for a finger. You can have a little packet
What?
in there.
How is
My-
this important? This is
Maybe he's a robot.
We're getting derailed. Okay, let's just stop.
Yeah, can we pretend none of us are robots? Because once one of us is a robot, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Could have been done when Butts got out of it.
okay, let's look at the what? Shut up. Let's look at the facts. Alta is on all the things that might be robots. So far,
Yes.
Mr. Derry was in a comic book, and he said they came from underneath. I don't know what that means, but it looks like here, and he like takes out the accordion comic book. Look it. Is that not Mr. Derry?
Yes. It kind of looks.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
And he takes one of the magnets and like puts it on the wall. Okay. And then Optimus Prime was dead in another magazine, and they were both suspiciously open, which I know sounds crazy, but like, oh, crazy Mitch.
Oh.
And he puts that on the wall too.
Mitch.
Yeah.
He wasn't dead in the page I saw. He talked to me and told me to look towards the stars, and Rob's gonna look up. I don't know why.
Mitch, Rob, we're inside of a. Looking at the ceiling.
Yeah. The stars are on the other side though.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
just
the
need
robot.
to take a pause here and think. Remember the whole weird, blowing up of the loop and everything, and then Ben was like, well, not Ben, but Ben was like, the Decepticons are way in or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so add that to your stupid board.
Over at the board, Ben's writing down. I said there are way in. You just see him.
Yeah.
And then
Like gives him a thumbs up.
Okay.
Dictate, not red.
What does that mean, Ben? Do you know what that means?
from the movie.
No, but in the context of what is happening right now.
No.
Wait, what movie?
What?
Transformers the movie.
Oh.
Mitch
Oh.
knew that.
The Insecticons are in our way. No, they're our way in.
Yeah. Okay. So we have to be bugs. Great.
Wait.
I don't know.
Wait. But you said that last year.
Yeah.
What?
He
No.
said that last year.
Like, for reals? Not the recording thing?
He what? No, he said that last year when we were fighting the Decepticons that they're our way in.
Ben was plugged into the Decepticons.
Oh, right, because the whole hospital thing.
The Insecticon thing is just right now. So how did he know the
wait, can you
Insecticons?
still, like, feel them or hear them like you could before?
I sure hope not.
It would kind of be helpful right now. Just saying.
I'm sorry. He looks down.
No.
Let's
Okay.
give you any weird vibes.
Like from butts. Okay, so, and on his board he has Predadad, Shannon Dad, question marks. That's its own separate like category, and then Insecticons is its own separate category, and then Alta is its own separate category with all the notes that we have for each one of these things. Okay, but where do we go, and why? What about Veronica? Are we gonna? How do?
And just as you say that, you hear, meep, meep.
That wasn't stealthy at all. And he like looks to Jerry.
Oh, yeah, I didn't tell her that.
It's a secret hideout, man. It's a secret
She's
Not
been
really
here
a secret.
before.
hideout. Secret hideout.
It was not a secret before
Secret.
I was hanging out with you guys.
See?
Dude, it's a big secret. It looks like a bush. Nobody knows that this is here.
It looks nothing like a bush.
Big green blob.
You don't know anything about
Who's
fucking
gonna
bush.
go and bring her up here?
Forgot he painted it.
Mitch walks into the other room and like down the ladder, and then he opens up the garage door and starts to shove out the ramp towards her. Come on, quick! Turn the headlights off.
She shakes her head. You guys come outside
I don't like that.
so I can see you.
That sounds ominous.
Come on, no. Like she's majorly freaked.
What? Okay. Okay.
Rob's gonna hold out his finger. Look, I'm bleeding.
I don't think that's how it works, man.
Shannon just begins to go downstairs.
Yeah.
And go outside.
As each of you emerge, Veronica will take like a long gander at each of you, quickly move on to the next person as they pop out, to the next person, and finally settles on Jerry. You can tell that she's changed. She appears to be a little more like herself, or the self that you remember, the one that used to cart George and Sam around. You know, she has fresh clothes on. She doesn't seem to be quite as ragged as she was a little bit earlier today. But she indicates the car and says, "All right, let's go."
What?
Go where?
She looks at Jerry.
Well, we're already at secret base.
Yeah, where are you going?
Is there a more secret base?
She points at Jerry. He said he'd help me.
No, you got to tell these guys what you told me.
Yeah, Jerry's not really an idea guy.
She looks at Rob as if she wants to say you're wrong, but also with a look that says, I have literally nowhere else to go. I can see them. I just don't know who they're supposed to be. I can only see them.
What do you mean who they're supposed to be? Oh, who they're taking over
Pretending to
identities
be.
are?
So if
Oh.
one of them decided to take over Jerry and Jerry was walking down the street, I'd just see one of them. I wouldn't see Jerry.
So wait, so you looked at all of us and none of us are...
No.
See, told you we were fine.
He like looks to Butts and goes,
Okay,
said that.
so what do you need our help with exactly?
When I see one, I need you to tell me who it is or who it looks
So you're
like to
trying
you.
Figure out who they took over.
I don't want to bump into one of them and, you know, answer the phone or be called somewhere and be in class with one of them, or
I
she
get it.
just kind of gets a list of things that could potentially happen when you don't know somebody's identity.
wait, so you just want us to
So-
like drive around with you?
No. We're going out to Stonehenge.
Oh.
Yes.
Everybody's gonna be there.
Yep. That makes sense.
Done.
Mitch, do we get the costume? Do we get the disguises?
No. I'm not wearing the
What?
Scooby-Doo costume.
It's a proper disguise.
For a hippie.
Why are you guys disguising?
Because
We were gonna
we were
sneak
gonna
in.
break into Stonehenge, but all he could find was like clothes my mom would wear when she was our age.
Oh my god. This is just like the movie theater. I told you, just play it cool. No one's gonna ask
That's
you any
what
questions.
I was trying to say, that we didn't need a disguise, but he...
Have we not figured out nothing about us is cool?
No, we figured it out.
Speak
Nothing
for
about
yourself.
you. All right.
I can't play cool if I don't know how to be cool.
Way less than what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with Veronica on this. We should go to Stonehenge and just take a look around, make sure she's not alone, so we can map out who's who. And
Yeah.
don't worry about getting in. Well, maybe we can get there a little bit early and watch people as they go in.
Yeah, that could work.
Or wait, doesn't your hippie buddy have a band?
Yeah, he's the one playing there. That's why we're gonna break
Okay.
in.
Well, why don't we help
He's
him
not
like,
a
load
hippie.
equipment and like just go in the back? So we help him out and we
See,
just get in from the back.
Jerry was actually real not cool about us sneaking in.
Gary?
That's what I said,
Gary?
Gary.
You
I thought you said Jared.
Jerry.
Gary.
You definitely said Jerry.
Gary. You know,
That's
you know,
the,
Gary.
This is the great thing about us sneaking in, and what Gary thinks is that one, we don't care, and two, we're going to sneak in. So if he sees us, it kind of defeats the point of sneaking in.
But you just said help unload his band gear.
Yeah, but at
So-
that point, we're not sneaking in.
But he would
We're
know.
just helping,
And
and then we just sneak away from there. Like we just went home.
he's not dumb.
Well,
Like, he's got a pretty cool
He's kind of
band.
dumb.
Come on, man.
I call shotgun.
He gave
She
us a
goes over
job.
to the side where Veronica is.
That's a
Oh,
that's a rabbit.
I call middle seat.
There's 6 of us.
nobody ever calls middle seat. What are you doing?
There's 6 of us, and Jerry's like 2 people.
I'm not sitting that close to you guys. Sorry.
We don't have.
I have enough with the bike as it is.
Just
Shannon,
take
I'm
your
gonna
bike.
I'm gonna assume
I'm
there's
sorry.
bench seats in the front, so Rob called middle seat in the front.
It's not-
Veronica will only allow one other person in the front, and Veronica indicates the back of the Volkswagen and says, "Put your feet on the seat and your butts on the trunk, like you're in a parade."
You heard her, George. Get in the trunk.
Why don't you just
Let's-
take the motorcycle?
oh my god! Can you guys
Let's
just?
just
I
get in
mean,
the
I
fucking
thought
car.
about it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, he climbs in and also sits on the back, on the trunk part.
Yeah. Jerry tries to look cool as he gets in the car, but he is friends with all of these people.
As George gets in, he whispers in Veronica's ear, "How's Sam?" Because he hasn't seen her in a year plus some.
She doesn't look at you, but she says, "Safe."
He just sits in the back.
So as you all sit down, and much like, a homecoming court that is arrayed on the back bumper, if everyone could go over to the Spotify playlist, cue up a little Bobby Brown, Every Little Step, as you begin to pull out of the Teletran 2 Mag Truck Graveyard and down into Main Street of Garrett. People are watching as you go by. I am going to leave Ben at Teletran 2 because there's no way that Ben, who looks like he's in the 7th grade, is ever going to have a chance to get in here. So to aid with communications, we're going to leave Ben, if that's okay. We can bring him if you'd like, but I leave it to the group. What would you like to do?
I think we leave Ben. in charge of the communication tower.
Right, he's dispatched. So
Yeah, we probably play it off like, not you're never gonna get in. It's we need you back at home base.
Oh, he agrees immediately. He seems to be very kind of sweaty pitted at the idea of trying to sneak in somewhere. So going with the idea of having one NPC in play at a time, we have Ben back. You have Veronica with you. She will act as any type of assistance that you might need here for certain things. And so as you're driving through, you see again, this is Garrett in the evening time. People are kind of looking, but no one really, no cops stop you for the obvious safety hazard that you all are exhibiting here. Lovely 1988. At one point, everybody roll me an investigate. So our paperback exchange trainees, Rob and Mitch, as you are both you're driving down one of the steeper hills in Garrett, on your side of the rabbit, 1 second you kind of look out at the passing greenery and houses, and you look back, and when you look again, you see that there is a girl on a skateboard traveling at roughly 30 miles an hour beside you, her hands behind her back as she is riding, her hair whipping behind her. She looks over at both Rob and Mitch, and you're not sure exactly who she's looking at because her glasses are tinted here even in the evening time. Very Corey Hart. And as she's riding, she blows a kiss and zips off into a side street. 15 minutes later, you all pull into the lower parking lot of Stonehenge. Much like the AMC theaters, as Jerry has guessed it, get in.
I feel like there's still an argument going on. No, it was me. It was like did the whole, and it was like I know you were there and you saw it. Like between Mitch and Rob. Like I was up on the top and the back and she did the thing, and then you were like she only just saw your head because you want to sit in the middle.
But have you seen this haircut?
Yeah, it's the haircut that Bud's had.
yeah, sold last year.
You basically just
my head.
And you saw what it got him.
beaten up by
A lot of
robots.
grief, man.
It got him several phone numbers and beaten up by a robot.
Hey,
And way cooler now.
Yeah, but he didn't get any kisses blown at him. So
nope, but it's a start.
and I looked super cool to sit on the back of the trunk, like dangerous, right?
I don't know who's been lying to you, but you might want to pump them brakes.
But we looked cool on the back of the back of the trunk.
I will give you this. She blew the kiss at me, but the wind carried it to you.
He looks you dead in the face and goes, "Yeah, like Maggie's hugs, right?" And then he follows Jerry towards the door.
Rob's gonna grumble. You're just jealous. You don't get that pose.
All right, so as you get there, you realize it's right around 8:45, 9 o'clock now, and there's somebody already playing. You can hear that, as you descend into the area that's mocked up like Stonehenge, there are already lights and there's people already kind of cheering. You can smell cigarette smoke. People are drinking. There's a huge crowd here for a small town, several hundred people. And Veronica has parked in the lower parking lot. So she's as far away from the venue as she can get and still park. And she angles her rabbit to be pointed back out onto the road, like a quick getaway type of park job. And she's just kind of sitting there, almost like she's stealing herself. But the rest of you are free to act. Veronica isn't getting out of the car at this moment. But yeah, you can hear the music playing. You see people everywhere. My friends, what do you do?
Okay, everyone, stay together.
I think if we trickle in, it
The
might be a
funnel cake?
little.
I think I broke Greg.
Is that funnel cake?
I have taken 3 sips of my drink, and each time one of you has dropped a line that almost made me ruin a lot of stuff here. So
That's our job.
I know you're doing it well. Business is booming.
I think Shannon's gonna stay by the car with Veronica. She doesn't know Veronica very well, and she knows of her, just like they know probably of each other. But they definitely did not hang with the same crowd, even though Shannon hung out with a lot of the older kids.
Right.
So, yep.
Wait,
And you would know too that Veronica is in the same grade as Dutch and Nee and Chris. She's a senior this year.
wait, what's your plan to get in? And he like looks to Veronica.
I'm just walking in.
Oh,
That's what I said.
okay. I get, all right.
I'm not walking in with all of you. You need to get in there, and all I need is one of you. Someone that can tell me who I see, tell me who they really are.
Okay. Here's the plan. It's open air, right? We can kind of see the venue, right?
Yeah, you can see the lights, you can hear the music. It's wide open. Yeah, it's like a field, like a festival.
Okay, so Mitch is gonna point to a spot that is like big enough that you can see from, like one of the light posts or something you can see from a distance, right? Like, okay, so we meet there. So Veronica, you get there, and then all 5 of us will try to get in separately, and then we just meet you there. If you only need one of us, then only one of us needs to get in.
She nods. Okay.
Who looks the oldest out of all the kids?
Jerry.
Fucking Jerry. Also, I'm pretty sure, doesn't Jerry have like a fake ID?
Yeah.
He does.
That's his iconic item, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go. I'll stay with you, Veronica, and like you guys just like, watch out. I guess.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna be
if,
around the back, and she just starts walking off.
if you can't make it, come back here. Okay, if we can't make it, we come back here. Like, this is the backup meeting spot.
Great plan. I think we kind of already knew that before.
Thanks.
Only we had disguises.
Rob, you could have done it yourself. You didn't need our affirmation. You got to be you, Rob.
I can't be Shaggy if you're not gonna be Fred.
I can't. And Mitch just starts to walk away. Actually, Greg, can I see? I assume he drives a van. Can I see Gary's van?
Roman investigate.
Sure. No.
Now, it's not to say it's not here, but you're in the lower parking lot. There's an upper parking lot, and then there's another lot on the other side of the venue. In all likelihood, he's probably closest, just because of having to unpack and all that.
Okay.
Okay, so we got George and Rob and Mitch attempting to go in from the front, and we have Shannon, who's kind of skirting around the side back, and Jerry, you're staying with Veronica, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think George wouldn't. George was not. He doesn't feel good about going in the front. I think George would go around the other side. So whatever opposite side Shannon went in, and he's gonna try to stand outside of an employee's entrance, see if there is one.
Sure. Roll me an investigate to see if you can kind of identify.
Great at
something.
those, yeah. 1 success.
You can see that there. It's not so much that you found the employees' entrance. You see somebody going in and out, like a couple people that seem to be carrying stuff in and then coming back out, carrying stuff in and coming back out. So it's just that repetition that you see over the course of 5-10 minutes that kind of shows you that they are probably here for not recreation, at least not yet.
I go to whatever vehicle or platform that they're taking things from and take them inside. I go and pick up a box and just try to go in.
Roll me a charm as you do so.
rolled 10 and I got 0 successes.
I will let you know this, because we are in a situation that would probably warrant it. You can push if you would like, which means you roll again. If you fail again, though, I will give you a condition.
Oh, well, I mean, I gotta take it. I gotta go. So part of me's gonna try to use my iconic item, but I just don't see a way to do that. So 2 successes.
Okay. So you do not get a condition, and you are able to pick up a box, and you kind of put it on your shoulder as you see some of the other guys doing it. And as you carry it in, it's you make it all the way in. You're within the general population here inside the festival of the Stonehenge area. And as you set the box down where you see some other ones are stacked up with cables and pedals and cords and stuff, you look down on the side of the box and it says Goodwill Industries. George, you're in. Mitch, Rob, what are you doing?
What does the is there like a junction box on the side of the building?
Roll me and investigate.
Okay. Cool. Investigate. 2 successes.
You can see that there is not a junction box, but there is, since this is a field, there's nothing on the side of a building, but you see that there is what looks to be a relay brick. And it's one of those kind of square, almost looks like a heating unit, that's in between the main building of the Stonehenge, which is maybe 100 yards away, and the festival seating area. There's also like some porta potties and stuff off to the side.
Is this not junction box? Is it accessible to Mitch?
Yeah, people are leaning on it, sure.
Okay, cool. I think he's going to just nonchalantly walk up to it and like open it and just start look like he's working on it. He's gonna like whistle a tune with all the authority he earned from Garrett Otto. He's just gonna look like he belongs there, and just and like open the junction box like he's working on it.
I'm gonna make you roll a charm here in a second.
Great.
But what is your ultimate purpose here to get into the box?
He wants to basically have evidence that he was working on it and potentially break it enough that he has to get inside to fix it, because clearly he was the one working on it to begin with. So, you know.
Okay, roll me that charm.
Like every scene in a spy movie where you hide as one of the service workers.
Sure.
Yeah, I have 3 dice. Charm is my dumb stat.
Again, you can push. Another failure gets you a condition, though.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the condition, I think. I think that's a second failure. Did it roll?
That was.
Did it roll?
Okay,
Yep.
so you get the condition upset. And the reason why you're upset is as soon as you kind of kneel down and start to work on this box, somebody that's actually an employee, maybe even the owner of Stonehenge, yells out, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Oh, it's I'm fixing it.
You feel a heavy hand on your shoulder as you are pulled away from the box, and a large guy with security written in white across a black t-shirt almost lifts you up off the ground and guides you back towards the parking lot. He puts you down and pats your head. Have a good night.
Oh man, it could explode at any time. It could break at any minute now. You're gonna have to call someone to fix that. It's gonna.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
We'll have one hell of a party before that, then.
Yeah, I'm sure. Fuck.
Rob.
No. Well, since we're all kind of doing our own thing, is this like the tickets? Do you have to pay to get in? Is it? Yeah.
$10. Yep.
Rob's gonna walk up to the counter and just try to pay $10 to get in.
Roll me a charm.
Yeah. Oh nope, that's right. It's minimized. Charm. 8. 1 success.
Takes your $10, tears a ticket that looks like a bingo raffle ticket, slides it out to you. Have fun.
Thanks. He's gonna walk right on in.
Rob, you are in. Shannon. Actually, hold on.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
let's do Jerry. As soon as everybody disperses and everybody is away from the rabbit, Veronica gets out of the car. And everybody cue up a little Breathe, Hands to Heaven for me. This is the song that is currently being played with an acoustic guitar on the stage, kind of like a warm-up act for Wanda's Figments before they take the stage. She gets out and checks herself in her side view mirror real quick, stands up and closes the door, and walks up beside Jerry, but she's looking straight into Stonehenge, and you see her eyes constantly, her head's constantly clocking everything in front of her.
Hey, just be cool. I'm not gonna let anything happen.
Roll a charm.
That's 2 successes.
And 2 is what you needed. Veronica breaks her gaze from scanning in front of her and looks up at Jerry for a second when you say that. It's been a long time since I've walked in alone into a place like this. And she kind of reaches over and opens up her left hand.
Jerry tries to play it cool. And he does that, like, puts out his arm for her. Yeah. He tries to take her arm and escort her.
She jams her elbow into your ribs and says, "Don't be an asshole," and grabs your hand.
You don't know me very well.
You start to walk into Stonehenge, and again, she's clocking the entire time. And when you get to the point where Rob has just purchased a ticket, in fact, you could probably see Rob with Butts' haircut disappearing into the festival proper. Veronica walks to the ticket booth and past the ticket booth, and no one stops her. And you are with Veronica, so no one stops you.
That's how it's done.
You walk in, and we're going to cut away from Jerry and Veronica for right now. We'll be back. Shannon, where are you going and what are you doing?
Shannon is actually not going into the main field area. She's not even trying to get in. She is 100% scoping the outside. She's basically walking the perimeter. She, after seeing Dutch and Nee and what happened in the alley, she's just like on full alert. She knows that something's going to happen here, even if the rest of the crew had nothing to really say about it when she brought it up. She's just not comfortable being in a huge crowd of people, knowing that something's going to happen. So she's looking for people that are either suspicious or anything that's out of place. Probably for the truck, maybe tucked away in the darker areas behind the fields or something like that. Anything really that shouldn't be where it is.
Roll me and investigate, please.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. You're looking around like, anything that might trigger a memory or some type of comparison as you're going around. And as you're kind of skirting up into one of the upper fields, that's really kind of more of a cow field than anything else. It's fenced off. You're looking down in, you don't see any Alta trucks. You don't see any like domed transmitters or anything that kind of pings your memory. But as you turn and look into the field, you see 3 motorcycles on kickstands.
And there's nobody there?
No one that you see. Everyone queue up at the very bottom of the Spotify playlist, Cry Little Sister.
Damn it. Oh, we know where Shannon's going because she can't keep us away from whatever that whole thing is. So she's going towards the bikes. She's
When
not
you
trying
get
to
up,
sneak either.
okay, you stride up to these 3 bikes. You can feel that they're still warm. The engine still has warmth to them. They've been recently ridden. No helmets in sight. Not that that's a big thing here in 88, but you also realize that these are brand new. In fact, they still have, one of them still has a dealership sticker on the outside, but it is a dealership from Ohio.
Interesting. Does that ring a bell for anything, or is it just a random?
You can't see it. You can see that it says Ohio. You can't make out the name of the dealership. That much of the sticker has been kind of peeled back.
Got it.
But the gas tank is fresh, clean, no nicks or anything on it.
Are there any saddle packs on any of the bikes?
Yep. Each of them has one that seems to be right above the wheel. It's like a dirt bike rig that's on these.
Are they locked or are they just like almost like satchels?
Yeah, they're like just cloth enclosures. Yeah.
She's gonna open one.
It has a folded piece of paper in it.
She takes it out and looks at it.
It says Ride North.
What's north of where they are?
That open field away from Stonehenge.
Are there keys in the bike? Shannon's riding north. Sorry, guys.
Shannon, this is a stronger bike than yours. This is a more powerful engine. And as you fire it up, you still can control it. You start climbing up a hill. And as soon as you kind of climb up the first rise and disappear, the lights of Stonehenge still behind you, you hear 2 other bikes fire up behind you. And you see the silhouettes rise with that Atari Twilight of Stonehenge behind you.
Okay. Are there riders on the bikes?
Yeah.
Do I recognize them?
You don't recognize their silhouettes. But as they creep down and get closer, you see that it is Dutch and Nee. They pull up on either side of you. And Dutch looks over. Want to ride?
Yep. Yep. Let's ride.
And as the 3 bikes pull up and over the hill, our camera pulls back and away as they drift down and disappear. And we go back inside Stonehenge to Jerry and Veronica. And if everybody could cue up a little Bon Jovi's Runaway at the bottom of the playlist. Jerry, you feel Veronica's hand almost hurts, crushes into your right hand.
What?
She nods. There, beside the stage.
And there, beside the stage.
Roll me an investigate. They're still in darkness over there.
That's 0 successes.
You can't make it out. There's a bunch of people. You see like a bunch of shapes beside the stage. And one by one, you see people taking the stage as 2 guitarists throw guitars over. You see a drummer go around behind their kit and she sits down and spins her sticks and does almost like a, drum roll. You hear the and you see the lead singer come up onto stage behind the microphone, and the lights hit, and you see these strobes and wind and everything. And as the pin drops, the drummer lifts up her hand, and the entire crowd goes quiet. Veronica, not expecting that silence that is part of the show, says too loudly, "The lead singer." Jerry, you see Gary Myers. And that is where we will end this session of Atari Twilight.
No, that's my boy.
Not Gary.
I told you he was a dick.
I mean,
Gary.
name one hero whose name is Gary. Name villains that are named Gary. I'm just saying.
There's no villains named Gary either.
Gary Oak? Fuck that kid.
Gary
Hey.
the snail.
Gary
Counterpoint.
Gygax.
Counterpoint. Oh man, fucking Gary, Greg.
I
Fucking-
knew it was good. Gary. I cannot have this evil villainous man borrowing all these hugs from this maggie.
Get out, guys. This has been episode 2 of Atari Twilight 88 called They Live. Let's go around, do our introductions so we can get out of here, do the after show, and talk about this show for Patreon. Shannon, Metamancer, that nonsense at the end there. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi guys, I'm Metamancer. You can find me mostly on Twitter and Instagram. Just look for Metamancer. That's it. I'm not really doing much on the internet other than like photography and just RP stuff. I do the roleplay extension, and I'm focused a lot on making improvements to that. So that's a thing. Yeah. I don't know if we're talking about the episode. I'll save it for the after show.
After show, yeah. Mike, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
So I'm Mike, the Anonymous Rhino. I have like 50 different names across the internet because, I don't really do much on the internet besides game. So, Call of Duty, let me know.
Nerd.
Shut up. You play 2K20, okay? Shut up.
Speaking of NBA 2000, Kendall, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Yeah, my name's Kendall. You can find me on Twitter sometimes. Not a lot. Mostly I'm playing Call of Duty with Rhino. So yeah, if that's what you're into, let us know. Other than that,
Wow. And if that's what you're into, Bitters, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to? Oh, yeah? Is that what?
yep, let it happen. Just
I
let it
hate
happen.
it. I'm Mr. Bitters. I hate everything. You can find me in my bunk more often than not because of the things that Kendall does. Honestly, I'm not on the internet. I'm not doing anything except playing this game and having a blast doing it. So,
Hell
catch
yeah.
me in that Atari Twilight Discord.
Sweet. And last but not least, Greg, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm completely off social media, but you too can find me in Discord, which is the only place where I'll show up, in the Atari Twilight Writers Room over on the unMadeGaming Discord. So join us there, and we talk about this, and we even kind of prep some stuff that will appear in this season of Atari Twilight. I have a blast. These people are absolutely incredible to play with. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of stuff going on in the Zoom chat that is in of itself another show. I couldn't love it anymore. Everybody in chat, thank you for being so nice and so wonderful and so engaged. I would like to mention that we do have, and I'll let Mike fill in the details, we have a one-shot coming up this Saturday, and it deals with Garrett, Maryland. It deals with a brand new set of kids in this town. It deals with continuity that continues from this point in Garrett, Maryland. So if we are at Friday, October 7th, what we do this weekend will be Saturday morning, October 8th. So join us then, as the repercussions from that show will have a direct effect on this season.
Hell yeah.
Until next time, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, this Saturday, guys, mark your calendars at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Atari Twilight 88 one-shot with a bunch of people from the Discord. So the only way for you to have heard about that possible game was to be in our Discord, so if you're not, go join it. And if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel and the community and get the after show that we're about to film, join us on Patreon. Link for that down below. And with that, we will see you guys next week. So from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.